Welcome to Savvy Business, Life Unscripted with your host, Christina Rivera, where our guests share their wisdom and valuable business tips, empowering our audience to expand their personal potential.
Hi, Taylor. Welcome to Savvy Broadcasting, a Life Unscripted for our Life After COVID series. I'm so grateful to have you here today. You have a fascinating story. Back in 2017, you were back in corporate America or working a very stressful life and decided this was not working for you. And I'm sure a lot of our audience can relate. Now, especially with the COVID passing and then recent riots and a lot of hot attention and emotions out there and people feeling uncertain. I know that you'll be able to help them with your story. Share with our audience a little bit about what brought you to creating your Inherent Clothiers and becoming a designer.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. Thank you so much. So back in 2017, I was having just a really, really horrible time in life. Like my marriage was at a crossroads. Some of my businesses, they were just eating at my soul, and it was just not a great time. And so what I did in the morning to just help me overcome these kind of things every day was get dressed, put on my suit, and just feel good about myself. And what I started to realize was every morning when I would put my suits on in the morning, that I would just start to feel a little bit more confident. And I think it was, and I know it was, that confidence, just the sliver of confidence that I feel in the morning really helps me be able to take on the day, and it really helps me be able to come to these struggles and overcome them head on and put in the work that I needed to put in with my marriage and put in the work that I needed to do to get my mind right with my businesses. So fast forward a few years to about last year, I revisited this idea and was just like, man, I really had something with that. And did some studies and commissioned some studies. Found a lot of research on how wearing clothing that makes you feel confident helps you overcome things like depression, anxiety, and things like that. So it was scientifically proven on multiple occasions for these studies. And that's when I was like, you know what, I really want to spread the awareness for men specifically, because we're all told as men to man up or be a man, or these kind of really unhealthy things to just stuff our feelings down. And what I realized was when I was going through these hard times and people were coming around me and I was expressing myself openly, and just because I really had nothing to lose at that point, I was pretty much, at rock bottom. And so I was just like, here's what I'm feeling. All of these things. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling scared. I'm feeling depressed and sad. And like, I don't know what the future looks like. And just kind of expressing these things to people, it really just helped me just feel better. And it felt like a weight was coming off of me. So I wanted to bring awareness that I was taught my whole life, just, hey, man up, just be a man about it. Stop complaining, And
it's funny you say that, Taylor, because it's sometimes there's conflicting messages. They tell you man up, but on the other hand, it's like, well, don't be too much of a man. But what I like about what you say about coat of armor is that for me, I worked in corporate America too. And it was one of my bosses who actually told me that wonderful thing that you mentioned about, maybe putting on that suit gives you that extra confidence. He told me if you want to move into the position of, at that time, management for me, he said, you have to be the part and become it. And sometimes that means dressing the part. And so I used to kind of really not dress well at work. And he told me, go out there, get that best suit. It will change the way you walk around, your attitude, the way you feel. And he was completely right. I went to Macy's that night, got 2 suits, a briefcase, and next day I'm walking in there. And people were like, oh, you got a promotion? No. But you just kind of walk in there like you just got a promotion, even if you didn't get one yet.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You hit it on the head. Like it's so great, especially with the clients that I have. And when I get to like put the jacket on them, I get to see like almost a physical transformation. Like their chest gets up, their chin like they stand a little straighter, and you can just see the confidence just enter their bodies physically. And it's just so cool, and it's just something that I love to do, and I found so fulfilling, way more fulfilling than multiple projects and all these kind of things that I was involved in beforehand. So
You know what's interesting, Taylor? I'm thinking about modern life. So much of modern life, we're told, hey, just go out and dress whatever, wear your leggings or dress like in your gym clothes. And sometimes, myself included, I don't think about what I look like when I leave the house. And I heard one comedian say, "Hello, when you go outside, people see you like you see the world," meaning they see what you look like. You might want to pay attention to that. And I think that's interesting that sometimes just going out there dressing a little better, and not only will give yourself confidence, but have people see you maybe a little differently.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's so cool because it's the way that you dress is how you want to present yourself to the world. So it's always so hard for me to just hear about people that are like, I like clothing doesn't matter. Like I'll just wear my ripped t-shirt and like shorts, gym shorts or whatever to
Yeah.
this dinner.
Mhm.
And it's fun if it's one thing if it's bringing you confidence every day. If that like gym shirt is like making you look amazing and the shorts is showing off your amazing legs, then yes, absolutely. But it's all about the confidence that you feel. I'm sure you experienced that when you got your suits from Macy's and everything.
Yeah.
Even it just made you feel more confident. It made you feel like you were able to take on anything that was coming your way, and that's like exactly what it is.
Actually, because I was looking to move into management, it made me feel like the manager I was looking to be. And I
Yeah,
don't know if you've heard the saying, be who you want, dress the part you want to be. So don't wait to become that to dress like it. Be it today. If what you want to be is a real estate investor, dress like that today as you walk around. Don't wait to become that and then dress like it.
yeah, no, absolutely. And it's so funny because I think that our generation had the suit taken away from us in like an act of rebellion,
Hmm.
especially in like the 70s, 80s. People were like, let's stop wearing these suits because it's like corporate, you know, things like that. And what it really is when I see people wearing suits now, it's almost like a form of rebellion in and of itself. So it's kind of like the
Shifted.
vision kind of switched, you know?
Yeah.
And when I wear a suit, people are like, "Oh, why are you dressed so well?" And I always say like, because it makes me feel confident, and I love it.
You mentioned something very important, though. The way you dress gives you confidence. It speaks to who you are and who you're choosing to be in the world. There's a guy who's a podcaster I like to listen to, and he likes to wear cowboy hat every day, all day. And
Yeah,
nowhere in America are most people wearing cowboy hats unless you're on a ranch with a whole bunch of horses. But
yep,
he said it's not the in thing, but I like it, so it gives me confidence. And for me, and here's the funny thing. See, I have this kind of pinkish hair here. When I was 20, I said to my friend, I want to do pink hair or whatever. She's like, well, unless you're a pop star, you can't do that because it doesn't make sense. Well, years later, it became the in thing a couple years ago, and I did it. And now, because I'm a radio show host, it kind of fits what I'm doing. But it makes me happy and it makes me confident and it fits me. But I stopped listening to what's the in thing and just went with what's me.
yeah. That's so great. It looks great, by the way. I love
Thank
it.
you.
It's
Now,
yeah, it's all about what's finding confidence. One of the things that I love about the suits, and I think about suits specifically that give people confidence, and it kind of goes from the suits wearing you to you wearing the suit, is just adding one personal effect to it, whether it's a pocket square, the
mm,
way that you tie your tie, the knot, or like a hat, or anything that's just bringing your own kind of flair to it. It
mhm.
immediately shifts from, if you're not used to wearing suits, to being like, this is mine, like I'm owning this,
Yeah,
versus like, I've never worn a suit before, like I'm not necessarily sure, but
yeah. And
yeah, it's
what I noticed about your presentation, which is so awesome, it looks like speak easy, like jazz time. What kind of drew you to your sense of style?
yeah, that's great. Thanks. It's I actually I my favorite era for menswear is the 20s and 30s. So like Cary Grant and Fred Astaire and things like that. But I also love the advances that we've made with the suit itself, with like the cutting a little bit slimmer, the higher, the lower sitting pants and things like that. So I always like to take the essence of that era and then put it with a little bit more of a modern flair for how I like to do it. So a little bit skinnier still, just so you can see the form, and it's still beautiful suit. The lines are still great.
Yeah.
But yeah, just update it a little bit.
Yeah, I saw your website. Gorgeous clothes. And before we go any further, let everyone know where they can go get their awesome suit today. Maybe someone can buy one for their husband. How can they do that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So inherentclothier.com.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're having we have about 10 to 12 pieces on there right now, I believe.
Mhm.
All of them have different styles. So I've created 4 different unique styles to help men kind of find their style. Because a lot of men these days, and it's something that's lost in our culture, they haven't been taught how to find their own style, or they're kind of new to it. So we created 4 unique, very different styles that you can say, hey, I really identify with this. And
Mhm.
then all the suits in that style are designed the exact same way every time. So you know that you can just kind of adopt a style out of the gate.
Yeah.
We also have a suit designer, so you can design your own suit as well and design it exactly how you want. And it has 160 options and then multiple options in each of those 160 items. So you can design your suit exactly to the smallest detail how you want, down to the stitching, down to the lapel shape, all of that great stuff.
That's great. So I'm thinking, what if they're, probably ordering online? Is there a way, how do they get suited up or measured and all that stuff? How does that work?
Oh man, that's a great question. I'm gonna yell that for not just having that ready. but but basically we created this algorithm. I worked with my brother-in-law who's a mathematician, and we created this algorithm on the website. So when you create an account, we ask you a few different questions. So we ask you what's your height, weight, pant size, and from that we can actually, using this algorithm, we can actually figure out your suit size into a 90th percent accuracy, so that we can just nail it. And you just upload a couple of pictures of yourself and we send that to our master tailors. And with that plus the suit fit that we can determine on the back end, it gets it really close. Like 9 times out of 10, you won't even have an issue. But
That's
if you are the 1 out of 10, we do offer a $150 alteration credit. So
amazing.
you can just take it to your tailors and then re-upload the picture afterwards, and then you're just good to go from there.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, it's great to know that you got options for, because I'm thinking a lot of people, as you mentioned, in this generation are not used to the whole idea of fitted suits and having things made for them. How would that go? What would
Yeah.
it look like? So this is great. Now I want to get to the nitty gritty of this conversation, which is confidence and depression. Um, I'm thinking there's a lot of people going through that right now with everything going on, and
Yeah.
clothing might be their option to get out of it. But share for them how you came out of your slump with using clothing, or how that came about for you.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. It's my favorite thing in the world to talk about. So it's what I really believe, and it's backed by science now, thanks to our research. But what I believe and what happened with me personally is it really just opens the door to overcome mental struggles and issues such as depression, anxiety, stress,
Mhm.
and things like that. Because in the morning, you have to make yourself presentable, even if it's just a Zoom call. You have to make yourself presentable because it's going to make you feel good about yourself. And
Mhm.
once you feel good about yourself, that's the step that opens the doors for everything else. Once you are look in the mirror and you're like, yes, I'm looking good, I feel good about what I'm wearing, I'm ready to go take on the day now,
Mhm.
that's going to just open the door for you to be able to take on these things and just feel a little bit better. You still, I definitely want to say, like, you still have to put in the work. It's
Yeah.
like wearing a great suit and feeling confident is just the first step,
Yeah.
but it's proven that it opens the door to be able to take on these things, and it just makes these things a little softer to deal with rather than just like a harsh reality that you might not want to live. you know
Yeah, I totally get that. I remember a long time ago having to go for interviews, and I took great concern the idea that when you go for an interview, it's the first interview, you wear black, all this stuff. And I remember going to one agency where most people were not dressed appropriately. They just were like wearing open-toed shoes with their nails. It just did not look like they thought about what they were going to wear on this interview. And this is not only a first impression, but this is a first impression where you're trying to get a job. So I
hmm
came in a suit, and I remember the first thing the guy said to me is, "Wow, someone who knows how to dress for an interview." And so all of a sudden, like, I'm confident now for this job. I'm getting this puppy. But so right there, that confidence. Not only did I take the effort to get dressed up for this and pay attention to what the industry might be looking for, but it also boosted up the confidence of the people I was meeting, and changed their attitude about who they were looking at. Boom, right there when I walked in.
Yeah, so there's two sides of it, right? It's the people that are looking inward to you, and then how you're feeling outward.
Mm,
And I think that that's like a very good distinction that you said there, is because, you know, we're not looking in front of a mirror all day, but when we leave the house and we're feeling confident about ourselves, that's going to pour out,
yeah.
and it's going to reflect in the clothing, and how you want yourself to be presented to the world is how people are going to view you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, I don't want us to leave without you letting everyone know how they can get their very own suit today. How can they do that?
Yeah, just come on to inherentclothier.com and check out our shop. We have a really great summer and spring collection out. So check it out. It's all handcrafted for you. So it's 100% custom. So when you order it, that's when we start making it.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen them. Go on there and check it out. It's gorgeous, gorgeous. I could tell the quality and the effort put into it. And that's another thing you don't get from a lot of businesses, is they kind of throw things together. Things are not thrown about. It is done with the utmost quality and attention. And I thank you today for coming to share this very important topic, and for, you know, giving our audience some tips on how to go out there and be confident. Thank you so much, Taylor, for coming to Savvy Broadcasting.
Christina, thanks so much for having me. It was a blast. I appreciate it.
You betcha. Take care.
If you like this episode, please share. To hear more Savvy episodes and Savvy Biz tips, go to lifeunscriptedradio.com. To become a guest or participate in paid sponsorship, email us at Christina@lifeunscriptedradio.com.